The 7th stage, the Tour de Langkawi, also known as the Queen stage here, began in Shalan in Selangor and took riders on a 180.8km track to the peak of Fraser's Hill. There were 3 sprints and 3 King of the Mountains along the way. Once again, there were attempts to break early. On and after 14 kilometres, 4 riders broke away from the peloton. They were Francisco Kiki of Androni, Liam Batazzo of Southeast, Park Son Beck of KSPO and Nick Mohammed Aswan of National Sports Council of Malaysia. Local boy Aswan would take the 1st and 2nd King of the Mountain as well as the 3rd sprint. Androni's Kiki won the 1st sprint and Batazzo took 2nd. The true test of climbing would begin 8 kilometres before the end, and with 5 kilometres to go, a group of 15 riders, led by Team Sky, overtook the leaders. The group included Team Sky Sebastian Henauer, MTN Quebecers Youssef Rodigi, Astana's Valerio Agnoli, Bardiani's Luca Chirico, and Skydive's Francisco Mancibo. The weather up in the hills was cool and the riders maintained a high speed going uphill. A frantic sprint to the finish ensured with 500 metres to go, and in the end it was a spectacular effort from the 25-year-old Rodigi to clinch the revered Queen stage here in La Tour de Langkawi. Team Sky's Hanau took a close 2nd and Astana's Agnoli had to settle for 3rd. The white Asian rider jersey was taken over by Asan's Tomohiro Hayakawa. Kiel Rainan's huge lead going into the race meant that he kept his red King of the Mountain jersey, and Caleb Ewan also held on to his sprinter's jersey. Ewan, however, had to relinquish his yellow leader's jersey to Rodigi, who maintains a 10-second lead over his nearest rivals going into the last stage. Located at the top of a hill, Kuala Kubu Baru, or KKB as it's also known, is a popular rest area for people heading to Fraser's Hill. In the last leg, riders will leave KKB and finally head to Kuala Lumpur, the vibrant and modern capital city of Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur is famous for its twin towers, striking colonial architecture, Menara KL, lively shopping districts, delicious food and so much more. The track for stage 8 begins in the heart of KKB and heads south with 3 sprints and a single King of the Mountain along the way. The first sprint greets the riders at 20.3 kilometres into the race at Surrender. This is followed by a King of the Mountain at Selayang before the riders enter the city centre and ride in 6 passages around the special city circuit. This is followed by a King of the Mountain at Selayang before the riders enter the city centre, riding 6 laps around the finishing circuit. Final 2 intermediate sprints will be located on the 2nd and 4th lap around this circuit. The total distance for this leg is 96.1 kilometres.
Amazing for the crowd, for the audience, for the riders, and now I'm joined on day 8 in the heart of Kuala Lumpur with ex-pro rider Robbie McEwen. Robbie, what do you think of the race so far?
Well, Ottie, the race has really lived up to expectations. The first 7 stages, well, we've seen plenty of action. Stage 1 and 2, well, they followed the script as we thought. The big favourite, Andrea Guillini, he came here to Langkawi with a record. He was out to improve that tally and he won stage 1 and stage 2 ahead of Caleb Ewan. On stage 3, it was the first chance for the climbers to come and show us their wares. Over the climb of Titi Wangsa, it was the likes of Burhan and Mancebo who split up the race and took bonus seconds, which could have proved vital in the overall classification. On that day, well, Caleb Ewan, he survived in a 35-man strong group to take his first stage victory of the race, and in the process, the Proton leader's yellow jersey. Well, on stage 4, it was again the fast man. We were back on the flats, and again it was that man, the Italian from Team Astana, Andrea Guillini, taking his 3rd stage victory, improving his record tally to 17 stage wins. On stage 5, we finally saw a successful breakaway, and it was the Korean rider from the KSPO team, Seo Jun-young. Well, he had been 2nd on that same finish in Kwantung 3 years ago, And this year, 2 days before his birthday, he managed to win the stage with a sensational solo breakaway from his 7 companions he'd been with for 150 kilometres on the road that day. Further down again, stage 6. Well, Orica-GreenEDGE, they had a plan for this stage. They nailed the lead out. They took Caleb Ewan into the final couple of 100 metres where he was able to overcome the Polish-Italian sprinter Morecko from Team Southeast and take his 2nd stage win while wearing the leader's yellow jersey. Sprint standings head-to-head, Guillini, Ewan, 3-2. Stage 7, well, that was the one everyone had been talking about, the summit finish on Fraser Hill. 1,150 metres above sea level, and it was Team Sky who were really dominating the climb up Fraser Hill. They split the race to pieces. They were getting rid of favourites left, right and centre. Burhan was dropped, but when we came to the finish, it wasn't Sebastian Henao of Team Sky, but a dark horse, one we hadn't expected, but a guy who proved to be a real all-rounder. MTN Quebec's Youssef Reguigui. He'd been up there on the podium in previous stages in the sprint. This time, he outsprinted the entire breakaway group of 11 to win the stage and install himself in the leader's yellow jersey in this 20th Tour de Langkawi and pretty much take a lock on the overall classification here. Well, stage 8, still all to play for.
So stage 8 sees us come to Kuala Lumpur, Robbie. Over 90 kilometres of racing. We're here in a finishing circuit. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Well, again, it looks to be a day for the sprinters, Ottie. Andrea Guillini, he's looking for number 18. Caleb Ewan, well, he wants to tie up the sprint match at 3-all. He's also defending his blue Maju Group sprinters jersey, but the real excitement today will also be which riders can join Youssef Reguigui on the podium. 5 riders in contention for those final podium positions. It's all to play for down here at Dataran Merdeka, and it's going to be a super exciting stage ahead.
I think today will come down to a bunch sprint, so yeah, we're just going to try to go for a stage win today.
Anything can happen on the last stage, but we're quite confident and we're really looking forward to the stage.
We are happy we have Paco Moncepo in 3rd general classification. We will try to put him in the 2nd general classification with the bonification.
Going to the Dataran Merdeka in the breakaway, that would be pretty awesome.
And I will see in the road what I can do for stage of today. I hope if I keep the jersey and I come back to my home with the yellow jersey from Tour of Langkawi 2015.
It was a scorching day today as the riders prepared to flag off for the 8th and final stage of the Tour de Langkawi from the town of Kuala Kubu Baria. After the exerting climb up to Fraser's Hill yesterday, today's ride is a mere 96.1 kilometres long with a single King of the Mountain and 3 sprints. Riders will reach the Malaysian capital in just above 60 kilometres but will continue cycling 5 loops around a special circuit encircling the heart of the city. 112 riders started the race today with a few more absentees due to illness and injuries. Throngs of spectators lined the streets here as the race began at 1 PM. Youssef Reguigui of MTN Quebec is wearing a yellow jersey after finishing first in yesterday's penultimate Queen stage. Reguigui was the first Algerian to win a UCI Asia Tour race and only the 3rd African to do so. He has a 10-second lead over Team Sky's Sebastian Henao, Breton Sech, Pierre-Luc Perichon and Francisco Mancibo of Skydive Dubai coming into this race and should win the tour if he finishes safely. Caleb Ewan of Orica-GreenEDGE, who wore the yellow jersey for 4 days in this tour, will have to be content with keeping his blue sprinter's jersey. The 21-year-old Neo-Pro leads Reguigui by 12 points and Guillini by a further 7 points in the sprint standings. The red and white jersey for the King of the Mountain competition is safe with American Kiel Rainen as the United Healthcare rider enjoys an unassailable lead at the top. The American United Healthcare rider has a massive 19 points advantage over Francisco Mancibo. Rainen has had the jersey with him since the end of the first stage. The white jersey for the best Asian rider is also safe with Tomohiro Hayakawa of Asan. The Japanese has a 1 and 6 second lead over Henzan's Lu Jianping. The Tour de Langkawi record stage winner Andrea Guillini is definitely looking to win his 18th stage here today. The Italian has 3 wins so far here this year, and after problems with his chain prevented him from finishing strongly in stage 6, Guillini will no doubt be looking for redemption against McEwen in this stage. A few riders tried to attack early on in this stage, but they were all caught back by the peloton. Riders reached the first intermediate sprint to surrender after just 20 kilometres. Valerio Agnoli of Astana was first to the line. The Italian was 4th on the overall standing coming into the race, but will shoot up to 2nd with 3-second bonus from this sprint. Tinkoff Saxo's duo of Jesper Hansen and Michael Kohler was 2nd and 3rd behind Agnoli, while Sebastian Hanau, who is also pushing for the GC, managed to get 4th. Groups of riders continued to try and break from the peloton, but were quickly reeled back in as they headed to the first and only King of the Mountain. The 26-year-old Italian Andrea Guillini came into La Tour de Langkawi as the record holder for the most number of stage victories at 14 wins since 2011. The Astana sprinter continued his fine form this year with another 3 wins.
Well, the comparisons have been made of Guillini to guys like Mark Cavendish and myself, and well, for him there's a little way to go. He's got to win a lot of Grand Tour stages yet, but he's off to a really good start in his career. He's got the record here in La Tour de Langkawi. The question is, can he keep that roll going? And on this final stage into Kuala Lumpur here at the Dataran Merdeka, can he win the final sprint, improve that record to 18 and beat his rival, his big rival here in this race, Caleb Ewan? It's 3-2, the score in this tour to Guillini. Caleb Ewan looking to even that up and win the Blue Sprinters jersey. The favourite is Guillini, but there's plenty of bandits looking to take him out on this last day.
One time he was so a little bit in difficult time, and it was no win because he won't win actually every time. He's won every race that he started, and he can sprint, he would win. That's Andrea. When he come in our team, we need to compete with the big sprinters, and that was a little bit problem of him. 2 years he worked alone.
Yeah, I'm born in Verona, country of north of Italy, and I started cycling at 6 years old. My father put me in a small bike, and I take the bike and I start to win suddenly in the first small races. I became professional at 2011, 21 years old. No, I don't expect to win 5 stages just in the first year, but was expected for me to make a good results, because I know that here there was a lot of stages for me, but I don't know now because it was my first race, and this year I think the most powerful rival is Caleb Ewan, because he's really young but really strong, complete rider. No, he's a sprinter, but he go really good in the climb, and I think he can make a really good result, maybe for general classification. Yeah, I miss for sure my girlfriend and my dog. I love Italian food and my family in Italy.
There was to be one large King of the Mountain in this La Tour de Langkawi, and it would be at Selayang, 39 kilometres into the stage. Jonathan Clark, team captain of United Healthcare since 2010, was first at the line in his category 4 prime to take the 4 points. Rafa Chewy of Skydive Dubai, who was the Deleja Malaysia winner last December, and the Tropical and Miso Bongo winner just 3 weeks ago, came in second. He was followed by Leonardo Duque of Team Colombia.
We are into a sprint lap now, so the riders have in fact heard the whistle, signifying that there will be an intermediate sprint at the end of this lap in just over 5 kilometres time. I see Caleb Ewan sitting back there on the back of the Orica-GreenEDGE train, and he will be hoping that his lead-out men, Lee Howard and Adam Blythe, have the speed in the legs today to lead him towards the line and hold off Andrea Guardini.
Just a time check there, Robbie. There's actually 30 seconds now, so the time gap is coming down. 30 seconds between the lead group and the main peloton. There's the leaders. We've got Perez, we've got Duque, Clark, and the North African rider of Chewy. Still working hard together, trying to stay out. How far can they stay? How many laps will it go until the rest of the peloton actually catch them?
So it's a certainty now that these riders will get to the next intermediate sprint. We'll see if they're actually interested in who gets those 5 points towards the sprint classification and the 3 bonus seconds, or if they just concentrate on this cohesion and holding a high speed to see if they can hold off this peloton. But now with just 36 seconds at last check, well, the signs are that the peloton are going to mop this group up pretty soon. Leonardo Duque, well, he's not letting this group get too much time because he is so close in the general classification still. Leonardo Duque at just 51 seconds from Youssef Reguigui's lead. I'd say it would be Duque who'd be the man keen to get these 3 seconds and see if that moves him up any more spots. So just saw a time check, and these riders have extended their lead now by another 15 seconds. Peloton had them back to 36 seconds at one point, now extended that back out to 51 seconds. And it's going to take almost a superhuman effort of these 4 leaders to stay away from this chasing peloton. The peloton, they are hovering at 50 seconds. And we have just been told there has been a crash in the peloton, not at the front it doesn't look like, but further back as they chase this 4-man group with 3 laps remaining of this 6-kilometre circuit. Just 1 intermediate sprint left in today's stage. You see now the pace really picking up on this 4-man group. 3 laps to go, halfway through this lap. 28 seconds the gap to these 4, looking like these 3 will again survive to the next intermediate sprint, as we see our 4 riders come through, getting 2 laps to go and crossing the line at the intermediate sprint, our third and final intermediate sprint of today's stage. Sam Bewley now on the front of the peloton, 19 seconds the gap with just over 1 lap to go on this 8th and final stage of the Tour de Langkawi. 19 seconds separating these 4 riders. Bruno Perez from Team Tinkoff Saxo, taking over from him Jonathan Clark, United Healthcare, Rafa Chewy of Skydive Dubai in the red, and Leonardo Duque, Team Colombia. 2 kilometres till the end of this lap for our chasing peloton, led by Orica-GreenEDGE. As the gap comes down now to 12 seconds, our 4-man leading group, less than 500 metres from the bell lap. Orica-GreenEDGE with Peter Weening, well, they have been increasing the tempo steadily. Andrea Guardini, he has put himself onto the back wheel of Caleb Ewan. Our 4 riders holding a very slim margin now. Less than 6 kilometres to race in the 20th anniversary 2015 Proton Tour de Langkawi. 7 seconds now the gap to our 4 leaders, and we can look forward to Alessandro having a sprint for himself and see if he can take on and beat the young guns of Caleb Ewan and Andrea Guardini. Guardini gunning for his 18th victory in total at the Tour de Langkawi. And there it is, the catch almost made inside the last 3 kilometres. And there we see it, our 4 riders on the left of picture, soaked up by the peloton, and it's the Asan Racing team of the leader of the Asian rider classification. Tomohiro Hayakawa is the leader in the white jersey, the KBS white jersey of Best Asian Rider. There's the Asan Racing team in blue in the middle, trying to lead out their man, their fast man, towards the finish. Team Sky, well, they're trying to bring Christopher Sutton, Caleb Ewan, well, the small figure of Ewan, as they now hit 52 kilometres an hour at the moment in the final 2 kilometres of this stage, looking for the red kite. Final kilometre to go. It's a real battle for the front, and it's now Team Southeast that hit the front. Alessandro Patacchi is, in fact, on the back of that train. Guardini has now gone for the wheel of Alessandro Patacchi. Lee Howard, he has the wheel of Alessandro Patacchi. A little further back in yellow, that is Youssef Reguigui. Caleb Ewan, well, he's a very long way back now at 1 kilometre to go. It is Team Southeast, the men in grey. 3 riders on the front. Alessandro Patacchi in third wheel. Andrea Guardini tucked on his wheel. Lee Howard, he is in fourth. He is following Andrea Guardini, and it's Adam Blythe on the left. He's trying to bring Caleb Ewan back into contention, but it's Team Southeast. 1 man left, the final 200 metres. Who is going to blink? Who will go first? Ewan goes from a long way. Guardini on the front. Here comes Caleb Ewan diving for the line, but it's Guardini. Gets his 4th stage win. Andrea Guardini, number 18, and is he happy? Well, that celebration, that tells the story. 18 stage wins in total.
We've been fighting for a podium for the last week, so at least the last day it came out and we showed the colors a bit more, so with the team I guess it's satisfaction.
It's a fantastic finish for the Tour de Langkawi. I make 4 victory and Agnoli take the 2nd place in general. It's perfect. The hot is no problem for me. I sweat a lot, but it's okay for me. I love this country, I love your country, and I enjoy here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with how things have gone, and I'm really happy with how the team's ridden as well. Yeah, you know, it's great racing in the middle of the city, and yeah, the streets were packed, so it was an awesome atmosphere to race here, and they're all such lovely people, so yeah, I had a great time here.
So I am very happy about the first GC win with professional race. I am happy also for my team. You do great. Yeah, thank you very much. I think the people here is more than Champs-Élysées, because all the circuit is closed with the people. It's very nice.
Andrea Guardini, quadruple stage winner. 2 hours exactly for this 96 kilometres. Andrea Guardini in front of Caleb Ewan and Michael Kolar, the Slovakian, getting his first podium position. Holding out Kiki in 4th, Patacchi in 5th by Youssef Reguigui from MTN Quebeca. Valerio Agnoli, the Italian, he moved himself up 4-2 in terms of stage wins for Guardini, but Caleb Ewan, well, he takes out the sprint classification, more consistent over the 8 stages. Effectively locked in after 3 days of racing. Kiel Randon got in the breakaway on day 1, won all 3 mountain sprints, did it again on stage 3. San team rider from Japan, Tomohiro Hayakawa, and he held his 1 minute and 6 buffer to Liu Jiangpeng.
It's been a fantastic 8 days of top-level cycling here at the Tour de Langkawi. The scorching heat, beautiful landscapes and unique tracks across Malaysia have made this 20th edition every bit as exciting as we've come to expect. I'm Ottilie, thank you for watching.